I love waking up early. And I can't believe I'm saying that. It's like such a weird thing to say. Hi, I'm Marielle. I'm a corporate mom with a master's in psychology. Here I talk about all things productivity, motherhood, parenting, relationships, so stick around if you want to see more of that. Since January is just around the corner, I know that most of us are thinking about how the past year has been and how we're doing overall. So I'm so excited to share with you the 10 habits that have changed my life because they truly are near and dear to my heart, as they have changed the game for me in terms of making me feel good and in terms of keeping me productive. So the first habit is waking up early. I love waking up early. And I can't believe I'm saying that. It's like such a weird thing to say when you think about it. Because not many people are going to say they love waking up early. A lot of people actually like sleeping in, and I was one of those people, if I'm being honest. But truly, having a morning routine, I need to wake up early to be able to get my morning routine done. And I really wanted to wake up early because I really wanted to have some time before I officially really start my day and be able to give time for myself. And I really have enjoyed the time that I have in the beginning of the day. If I wake up early and I have a little bit of time to myself, I have a little bit of time to slowly wake up instead of just rushing and trying to get things done like as fast as I could when I wake up and feeling all frantic and things. I feel like when I wake up early, I have a bit of extra time in the morning to get myself ready slowly, to get into the mood and to get into the groove, to start in a positive note. And I feel like it just sets me up for the rest of the day and it just helps me to feel a bit more grounded before I actually start anything. And because I really want to have a morning routine, because I really want to have these things in place before I even get work done, before I even take care of anybody else, I need to wake up a little bit earlier than I really need to wake up. Otherwise, I don't have time to do those things. So for me, waking up early really is key and really has changed a lot of things for me. So the second habit that I've implemented is meditating. So meditation is part of my morning routine, and it has been part of my morning routine for really years now. I've meditated pretty much every single day a few years ago, and then I fell off the wagon and then I came back again, fell off the wagon again and came back again. And the last couple of months I have been doing it very regularly again, pretty much almost every single day. And I really do feel like it helps me to be more reflective. It helps me to take a step back, and it helps me to catch things that I would normally not catch if I didn't do it. In the beginning, it feels a little bit awkward. It feels like, what am I doing? It feels a bit like, is this even really helping? But to be honest, for me, my experience has been very positive, and you will not see a big difference in the beginning. You really need to stay consistent, and you need to keep repeating, and you need to keep showing up for yourself. You need to keep repeating it before you actually see results. So once you begin, it's not easy to keep at it, I think, because you don't see immediate results, and most of us are pretty much looking for that instant results, right? Like everything is instant these days. So with meditation, it's really like a slow and gradual process. And once you start meditating, it just gets easier and easier to get into it. The more you do it, the easier it becomes to keep at it. And the less you do it, the more difficult it is to keep up. So if you actually keep just doing it every single day, it'll be easier. It'll get easier and it'll feel also more natural. I really do enjoy guided meditations. I don't really do meditations where I just sit by myself in silence. I find it still really difficult for me even after years of meditating. So I find for me the best is to listen to guided meditations, because I feel like then I have like an anchor. I have like someone telling me what to do, and it really helps me to like keep my head at it.
And don't get me wrong,
like there are times when I am like in my head and I'm just thinking about other things, and then suddenly the meditation is over, but it doesn't mean that you failed. It's all part of the process, and it's okay if that happens to you. It happens to me more times than I would care to admit. but I just keep showing up, and the next day it will be better. It's always a little bit of up and down, but yeah, it's just the way that meditation is. And then slowly, gradually, you'll see some difference after a few months, after a few years, even more. You'll see more and more difference in yourself and the way that you behave. I feel like due to meditation, I catch myself before responding to things. Instead of responding to things on reflex, I'm able to, most of the time, pause for like a second or two before actually reacting to things, and that really helps with my relationships. That has helped me with professional life as well. So I feel like it really does help me to also be more positive and be more mindful on the way that my thoughts are affecting my emotions and the way that my thoughts are affecting my actions, because it all starts with the thoughts. Meditation has also helped me to slow down. I feel like because it's a very slow and gradual process, it really helps me as someone who's always very like fast-paced. I'm a very impatient person.
I'm someone who just likes getting things done very quickly, and I don't have patience for doing things slow.
And practicing meditation has really helped me with that, to just help me to slow down myself a little bit more. Through meditation, I'm also able to put my energy first. I'm able to prioritize my energy to start on a good note, to be able to check in with myself. And it just helps me to just put myself first thing in the morning. The third habit is reading books. So in the morning, I read a book, and at night, I also read a book. So in the morning, part of my morning routine is reading a positive, inspirational, or motivational book. And at night, then I read just something for fun, something for myself. So just a way for me to slowly wake up in the morning, and then to also slowly wind down at night. I can't tell you enough how good it's been for me to feed myself, feed my brain with such positive thoughts and so many inspirational and motivational stories that I get from these books. It just helps me to feel a bit more inspired, more motivated first thing. It helps me improve my ways of thinking. It helps me, sometimes I read productivity books as well, and it helps me think about new ways of doing things that I might not have thought about before. If I read something a bit more philosophic, it reminds me of the philosophies of life that I might know but not remember at the moment. And it just sets me up again in a positive note. Reading books at night also helps me to unwind and helps me to clear my head, so I'm not thinking about constantly what has happened during the day or during the week or what I need to get done tomorrow. It really helps me to like almost transport myself out of like the present moment and go into the fantasy, go into like another world, and really helps calm myself down. Because sometimes when I'm thinking about the things that I need to get done or the things that have happened during the day, it's really difficult to get to sleep. And I know that some of you have had this or are even experiencing this at the moment. And let me tell you, falling asleep with a book really does help. And has been helping me for literally years now. I've been doing this, so it really does help, so give it a try if you haven't yet. Another habit that I've implemented is walking. In Belgium, where I live, a lot of people walk a lot. A lot of people go on hikes, go on treks, go on walking paths, and it's a thing here. Like, people like walking, and that was so strange to me when I first came here, like more than a decade ago. What is with this walking? And like, I did not appreciate it in the beginning because I didn't understand what it was about. Like, I don't want to walk. But now, I've been walking for years now since I've been living here, and I really do enjoy it. I actually love going on my walks now. I just feel like it helps me to clear my head as well. It helps me to see the bigger picture, especially sometimes when I'm so stressed with things that are happening at work, for instance, and then I take a breather and I go walk, for example, during my lunch hour, or even first thing in the morning before starting. Like, it really helps me to see the bigger picture and see that like all of the things that I'm problematizing are actually not that deep. Like, they're not that bad. Walking also boosts my energy and helps me to become more awake again, especially when it's cold outside and you feel the crisp air in your face. It's very nice. I really actually appreciate that now. Of course, when there is sun, the sunlight is also very nice for our body. Vitamin D, it's very important, etc. I really love that I can walk while I'm still listening, for instance, to a podcast or to a book, because it stimulates both my body when I'm walking and also my mind when I'm thinking about things when I'm reading the book, listening to the book. So related to that is exercising. I do exercise for more or less 4 times a week now. I just really enjoy exercising now, and I feel like more complete when I do exercise. I feel like I've done something to take care of my body, and I really appreciate that about myself. I'm proud of myself when I do exercise and take a time for it. I just feel so much better when I exercise. I don't know what else to say. Next habit that I feel has really been a game changer for me is meal planning and meal prepping. So I really like batching things to be able to get things done more efficiently. I feel like there are smarter ways to do things. You don't necessarily have to work hard, but you need to work smart to be able to get things done if you want them done well. And I feel like batching things is a way to do that. And because I have a family and I have my daughter to feed, myself and my husband to feed, I need to find a way to maximize my time, because it does take a lot of time to cook, especially if you're cooking like several meals every single day. When I meal plan and I meal prep, that I'm able to take control of like what goes into our bodies. I just find it so much better for me and my family, because I feel better knowing that we're able to eat well and that we're able to eat more or less balanced meals. Because I work full-time and my husband works full-time, it's also better for us because we're able to plan our meals ahead. It really helps us because we have meals ready for the week. So instead of thinking every single time,
what am I going to eat now? What am I going to eat later?
You know, like we already have them. We already have them in our fridge, or we already have them in our freezer even. And they're already ready for us. Like I already have it ready for me to heat up and just go. Like it saves so much time, so much energy, and so much effort for me. Cleaning is also easier because you can just do everything in one go or in 2 goes depending on how often you meal prep. It's just easier because you can batch everything. So you can batch the cooking, you can also batch the cleaning. Also, it helps you to budget, because when you meal plan, then you know how much things are more or less. And we like having our groceries, doing our groceries once a week, so then we can include everything in our groceries already together with all of the ingredients we need and all of the snacks that we'll want for the week. So it helps us to keep in track more of what we're spending on, and it's just, yeah, so much better for us to be able to see that ahead. Another habit that helps me maximize my time is time blocking. You see there's a little bit of a pattern here. I'm all about productivity. I'm all about maximizing my time and minimizing the effort. So one of the things that I've been doing is time blocking. It really helps me, especially for busy days, then I know exactly how much time I have to get things done. It gives me a realistic view of how much time I have for each thing, and if am I overloading myself or not? Am I being realistic with my plans or not? It also helps me to be more critical of the things that I spend my time on, so to help cut the fat. And it's also a good motivation to check things off my list. Another thing that I have on my habits list is a cleaning schedule. So I didn't used to have a cleaning schedule and we would just clean in the weekends, but I felt like it was too much in the weekends because we would usually do our meal prepping or meal planning on the weekends too. So then I don't want our weekends to be filled with just chores. I also want to do things with my family. So I want to free up some time in the weekend. And so something that we came up with is to have a cleaning schedule. And so we do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, like throughout the week, sprinkle throughout the week, so we don't have to do everything in the weekend. It helps me to stay on top of my cleaning, which is always constant, especially when you have children. But having these small tasks sprinkled out throughout the week really helps us. So it's not so overwhelming, because sometimes when it's too much and I just feel like I don't want to deal with it, like I just don't want to touch that. So doing small things here and there really does help to stay on top of it. Knowing when to do what is also great for me, because then I know, okay, like on this day I'm going to do the windows, on this day I'm going to vacuum, on this day we're going to tackle laundry. So I feel like everything has like its time, and you know when you're doing what, so you can also plan around those things. As I mentioned before, I also have my morning and evening routines. And I feel like routines are very important for me because I'm somebody who thrives with consistent routine. A good morning starts the evening before, I believe. And so if you want to wake up early, for instance, you need to make sure that you're also sleeping early. And to be able to sleep early, you also need to make sure that you're calming yourself down, you're winding down well, and you're relaxing, you're giving yourself a little bit of a slower time to recuperate and to recharge from the whole day, which has been very busy. I like having time to relax before going to bed and recharge my batteries. I just love having a routine because it's easy to anticipate what is going to happen when, and you know how much time you have to get things done. And the last habit that I have, and the most recent one that I've been implementing since a few weeks now, is romanticizing the little things in life. So before, I've always been looking forward to the big things, the big trips, the big weekends, the big holidays, and now I really try to romanticize like the smaller things and the day-to-day things, like how my coffee feels when I first sip it, how my child's face lights up when she sees me in the morning. It's just those little things that I feel a lot of us just take for granted, and I really do, especially now that I have a child, especially now that I have a little one. I really want to cherish the moments and really be there and be present for those moments, and that's how I decided that it's time for me to really be more present and mindful in my day-to-day and find those little moments of joy in my day-to-day. Seeing those little joys and the beauty of life really helps me to feel more grateful and more positive in my day-to-day. It's just been more helpful for me to be more present with my family. So those were the habits that I've implemented in the past years or months that have really helped me feel my best. I know it might seem like a lot, but I didn't do them all in one go. They have been incorporated into my routine very gradually because it's just not doable to do them all, implement them all in one go. You first need to start with one habit, and then once you feel confident enough that you have implemented them into your routine, you can add another one. And then once you feel confident with that, you can add another one, and so on and so forth. You need to start small and then go from there. Start very small if you need to. It's also important to think about which habits you really want to include and not just include habits for the sake of having habits, you know? You really need to think about the things that are important to you and which habits will really impact your life in a big way. You might only have 3 habits, but maybe those habits are the most important things for you and really move the needle for you. Then it's so much better than having 20 random habits that you don't even really care about. Creating habits for me are so key to be able to stay productive because I don't need to rely on my motivation, which really comes and goes. I hope that this video has been helpful for you to think about your own habits and maybe have given you ideas into habits that you would like to incorporate into your own routine. If you like this, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button so I know which types of content you'd like to see and I can create more of them. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!